There are players who make headlines with flashy dunks and highlight reels. And then there are players like Tony Allen, men who build their legacies not on showmanship, but on heart, hustle, and defense. In a league dominated by scorers, Tony Allen stood as a guardian, a man whose toughness redefined what it meant to be a professional basketball player. This is the story of Anthony Allen, born January 11, 1982, in Chicago, Illinois, and known throughout the NBA as the Grind Father. His journey from the streets of Chicago to the bright lights of the NBA is not just about basketball. It's a story of perseverance, growth, and the pursuit of excellence. Tony Allen was raised in one of the toughest neighborhoods in Chicago, the kind of place that built resilience or broke it. Growing up in the West Side, Allen was no stranger to violence and struggle. The streets were harsh, but basketball offered refuge. A way out and a way up. He attended Crane High School, where he quickly developed a reputation as a fierce competitor. He wasn't the tallest or the most athletic, but Tony had something most young players didn't: grit. He was willing to outwork anyone, dive for loose balls, and put everything on the line to win. That mentality would later become the core of his professional identity. After high school, Allen's basketball journey took an unconventional route. He played at Butler County Community College in Kansas, then transferred to Wabash Valley College in Illinois. Each stop was another chapter in a long, winding path toward recognition. He wasn't a top recruit, but he kept proving himself. Every game, every practice. Finally, he caught the attention of Oklahoma State University, where he played for 2 seasons. It was at OSU that Tony Allen's competitive fire truly exploded. He helped lead the Cowboys to the Final Four in the 2003 to 2004 season and was named Big 12 Player of the Year. His tenacity in defense made him stand out, and NBA scouts began to take notice. In 2004, Tony Allen was drafted 25th overall by the Boston Celtics in the NBA draft. The Celtics were rebuilding, and Allen was expected to bring energy off the bench. From the start, his defensive intensity made an impression. He had no fear of guarding star players. Whether it was Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, or LeBron James, Tony relished the challenge. But early success was shadowed by adversity. In 2006, while playing a charity game in Chicago, Allen was involved in a nightclub altercation that led to an assault charge. He was eventually acquitted, but the incident was a wake-up call. It reminded him how quickly everything could be taken away. To make matters worse, during that same period, he tore his anterior cruciate ligament, ACL, in his knee, a devastating injury that sidelined him for months. Many players never fully recover from such injuries, but Tony refused to give up. He poured himself into rehab, determined to come back stronger. When he did return, he emerged not just as a better player, but a wiser man. He embraced his role as a defensive stopper and became a crucial part of the Celtics bench unit. His efforts paid off when Boston won the 2008 NBA championship, led by the Big Three: Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen. Tony may not be the star, but he was the enforcer, the man who did the dirty work, the glue guy every great team needs. After 6 seasons in Boston, Tony Allen signed with the Memphis Grizzlies in 2010, a move that would define his career and legacy. Memphis, at the time, wasn't a glamorous franchise. They didn't have the media spotlight or superstar glamour, but they had something Tony recognized immediately: heart. Under coach Lionel Hollins, the Grizzlies built their identity around toughness and defense. Alongside players like Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol, and Mike Conley, Tony helped forge what became known as the grit and grind era of Memphis basketball. The nickname Grind Father came after a legendary post-game interview in 2011. After a gritty win over the Oklahoma City Thunder, Tony, drenched in sweat and still fired up, shouted into the camera, "First team all-defense. Grit and grind." Those words stuck. Memphis fans embraced the phrase, and soon the entire city identified with it. Tony Allen became the embodiment of grit and grind, a blue-collar player who gave everything for his team and his city. He wasn't a high scorer. His career average was around 8.1 points per game, but stats never told his story. What made him special couldn't be measured in numbers. It was in the way he shut down elite scorers, dove for every loose ball, and lifted his teammates through pure willpower. Between 2011 and 2017, Tony was named to the NBA All-Defensive Team 6 times, 3 times first team and 3 times second team. He was widely regarded as one of the best perimeter defenders of his generation, and many players, including Kobe Bryant himself, publicly praised his defense. Kobe once called Allen the toughest defender he ever faced. After 7 incredible seasons with the Grizzlies, Allen's playing time began to decline due to injuries and age. In 2017, he signed with the New Orleans Pelicans, but his body was beginning to slow down. After just 1 season, he was traded and eventually waived, marking the quiet end of his NBA career. In 2018, Tony Allen officially retired from professional basketball. The Grizzlies later honored him by announcing that his jersey number 9 would be retired, a rare and powerful recognition of his contributions. For Memphis fans, Allen wasn't just a player. He was a symbol of resilience and city pride. Retirement didn't mean the end of Tony Allen's story. Like many former athletes, he faced challenges transitioning out of the game. For years, his life had been defined by competition, structure, and constant travel. Now, he had to rediscover who he was beyond the court. Tony dedicated much of his time to his family and community. He's been involved in youth mentorship programs, basketball camps, and charitable efforts, especially in Memphis and Chicago. He's used his platform to encourage young athletes to stay disciplined, avoid trouble, and play with passion. However, in October 2021, Tony Allen's name resurfaced in the news, this time for the wrong reasons. He was among 18 former NBA players charged in a federal fraud case involving the league's health and welfare benefit plan. The players were accused of submitting false medical and dental claims to receive reimbursements. Allen voluntarily turned himself into authorities and later pled guilty to the charge. While the situation tarnished his reputation temporarily, many fans and players stood by him, recognizing his character and contributions to the game. In August 2023, Tony Allen was sentenced to community service and supervision, rather than prison, after cooperating with investigators and showing remorse. He expressed regret for his actions and emphasized that he wanted to use the experience as a lesson to others, a reminder that mistakes don't define a person's entire life. Today, Tony Allen lives a quieter life, largely away from the media spotlight. He remains connected to basketball, occasionally appearing at NBA events, podcasts, and interviews where he shares insights about defense, teamwork, and life after sports. He's also deeply involved in community mentoring, particularly for at-risk youth in Chicago and Memphis. His message is simple but powerful. You don't need to be the best scorer to make an impact. You just need to give your best every single day. Allen's influence can still be felt in the culture of the Memphis Grizzlies. The team continues to embrace the grit and grind mentality he inspired, and fans often chant his name when remembering the golden years of Memphis basketball. His number 9 jersey hangs as a symbol of toughness, loyalty, and passion. Off the court, Tony has become something of a motivational figure. He's shared his personal struggles with mental health, finances, and identity after retirement, topics many former athletes avoid discussing publicly. His openness has made him a relatable and respected voice in the basketball community. Tony Allen may never have been an MVP or scoring leader, but his legacy is one of heart, hustle, and honor. He changed the way players thought about defense, proving that shutting someone down could be as valuable as scoring 30 points. He played with no fear, no ego, and total commitment. His journey from the streets of Chicago to NBA stardom is a blueprint for anyone who wants to rise above circumstances. In the words of his former teammate Zach Randolph, T.A. gave us our identity. He made Memphis believe. In the end, Tony Allen's story isn't just about basketball. It's about redemption, perseverance, and purpose. He faced adversity, made mistakes, and grew from them. And through it all, he stayed true to who he was, a fighter, a protector, a man of grit and grind. From the streets of Chicago to the rafters of the FedEx Forum, Tony Allen's journey is proof that greatness isn't just about what you score. It's about what you give.